Unfortunately, this is the state of the UK high street. A lot of shops closing down here. You've got another one here. I mean, we're just walking a few steps where another shop is closing down. Guys, I came into town to get some clothes, and who was I kidding? There literally is nowhere to shop in Galway.
For a little walk this morning, and I could not believe all the shops are gone, closed, empty. It's disgraceful. I couldn't believe it.
George's Portobello Fish Bar has finally closed its door after 63 years of fish and chip service.
Have you noticed more empty shop fronts on your high street? You're not imagining it. From rising rent to soaring energy bills, the cost of living crisis is hitting businesses hard across the UK. Let's find out which shops are shutting their doors and why it's happening.
One of Liverpool's oldest shopping streets is in jeopardy after iconic places like Smithy's closed down after more than 20 years. These iconic stores have been replaced by new food spots such as Fusion and Cell Salsa. Fears creeping that the balance may have shifted too heavily in favour of hospitality venues.
Unfortunately, this is the state of the UK high street. A lot of shops closing down here. You've got another one here. I mean, we're just walking a few steps where another shop is closing down, and there's another one there. There's a couple more up here, and this is St Albans in the United Kingdom. And that's because many of the big brands such as Pret, Accessorize and all the other major high street shops, I mean even this is 50% sale, is taking over the UK high street because they're owned by big private equity firms who are able to pump a lot of money into the business and therefore fund debt, fund bad times. And because rents are increasing so much, many of these smaller brands just can't compete anymore. So unfortunately, you see a lot of shops, independent shops or smaller brands, closing on UK high streets, and they're simply replaced by big brands owned by private equity firms. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, follow for more.
This person actually felt a bit worried about the economy now. Seeing so many retail shops closing is starting to hit home.
Alright, not gonna lie, I am mildly concerned about the economy now. Literally within the space of the last week or so, we've had 2 wholesalers that we occasionally buy from go under. And on top of this, data from last year showing how many retail shops closed. 28% more closures than in 2023. 84% of all closures were independent retailers and smaller businesses. Oh, then it's followed up with that. Britain has recorded its highest number of company closures for 2 decades, with the final quarter of 2024. I dare say you can read it. How many fucking closed? I just don't see it getting any better, man. Like, I won't lie, stuff is quite rough for us at the moment, right? But then when you see things like I, you kind of go, I'm not surprised, because everyone seems to be struggling. Not that I know what the answer is, because there's obviously money out there, it's just a few people that seem to get it. And when you squeeze everyone, it means they can't really afford to shop with smaller businesses. Because let's be honest, smaller businesses are usually a little bit more expensive. They have to be. So then you end up buying as cheap as you possibly can, which usually means big businesses or abroad. But none of the money seems to circulate like it would before. Oh, so yeah, here we go. Just a bit concerned about the economy. Anyone shocked?
Wow. So I didn't realise. I've just come down my local town centre. Closed. Closed. Next one. Closed. Next shop. Closed. Used to be Bun Marsh. Guess what? Closed. Everywhere's just shut. It's just ridiculous. There's like hardly anything left. Another one with the shutters down. Used to be Mapley Sports. I don't know. What's the world coming to? Shocking.
This guy came into town looking to buy clothes and realised nearly every shop was gone.
Guys, I came into town to get some clothes, and who was I kidding? There literally is nowhere to shop in Galway for lads. Like, there's literally nowhere. Like, Brown Thomas is the only place, Tommy Hilfiger maybe, but like in the past 10 years, the amount of shops that have just gone. It's like Debenhams, Top Man is gone, River Island is on the way out. There's so many shops closing, like Body Shop. Not that I use the Body Shop, but I don't understand it. Like, why can't they just last? Like, it's not like Galway City isn't busy and it doesn't have the clientele there. Like, there's so many people who would love clothes shops here. I don't understand it. We need a big Zara. That's what we need. I'm going to start a petition for a big Zara. It's actually such a joke.
God, all the shops are closed. Pandora, M&S. There's literally nowhere to shop in Birmingham anymore. I mean, look at House of Fraser. The sign's falling off. I mean, God knows what's occupied in that building, but it still isn't House of Fraser. And EE shots, I didn't know that. Mother Care used to be here, as well as New Look, and that's gone. Everything's gone. It's just empty. Empty.
In Birmingham, what used to be a vibrant town centre now feels empty. A lady walking through couldn't believe how many shops were gone.
Hi there guys, this is Northfield in southwest Birmingham. When we moved up here nearly over 15 years ago, it used to be such a vibrant town. There used to be shops, restaurants, independent places and everything. It was so fabulous. Even independent butchers, tomato sausages, who remembers them? They were amazing. And I went for a little walk this morning and I could not believe all the shops are gone, closed, empty. It's disgraceful. I couldn't believe it. This is part one.
On earth, we're losing another one of the high street staple shops. I don't really shop in New Look, but still, they're shutting down. What on earth is going on? This is a list of the 26 that are closing down.
Shops on Bold Street are really feeling the squeeze, with rising rent and bills making it tough to stay open.
Shops on Bold Street are struggling, with a number of long-standing stores having to close their doors in recent months. This includes shops such as fancy dress shop Smithies that closed at the end of last year after being open for 20 years. It also includes Alice Brigham's Fab Four store that closed early this month after operating for the last 60 years. The store stated the reason for closure was due to the recent shift to hospitality on the street, with them saying on social media that they are surrounded by bars and cafes and that there are no more shops near them. Other issues affecting shops on the street include rising bills and rent, with shop workers in the remaining stores saying that independent and local shops will struggle the most.
It's definitely, with like rent prices increasing, it's definitely the independents that are going to find it hard to, you know, like energy prices and, you know, doing all that. And like these, I mean, speaking on behalf of us, we've just had like a electrician come in and be like, you're going to need all new sockets, because these are such old buildings. Yeah. It's a lot of upkeep to like keep them modern and like under all these regulations. And I think a chain can just splash the cash like Franco Manca, you know what I mean? They can come in and go, yeah, we'll just strip all of that out.
Once you notice one ghost pub, you'll see them everywhere. Sometimes they'll have an old sign, but the best way to tell if a building used to be a pub is by looking around the outside. On the pavement, there'll be a way to access the old cellar, and that's your sure sign that you're looking at a ghost pub.
Even charity shops are closing now. When not even they can survive, it really shows how brutal the cost of living crisis has become.
I've just read on the Mail Online that a UK charity shop, which is actually Scope, is going to be closing half of its stores in the UK within the next year. So by March 2026, half of Scope's going to be gone. And in actual fact, 39 of the 138 shops they have at the moment are going to be closed in the next few days. Is anybody in the reseller community or the thrifting community surprised by this? I mean, charity shops charge so much money for donated goods, and I find Scope especially charge a lot. I mean, just stack them high, sell them cheap. Your stuff is donated, it is given to you. I've seen a few charity shops pivot to this model of lower cost, which is makes so much more sense. The CEO has blamed low footfall and also accused online shopping as being one of the reasons this has happened. But just sell it cheaper. Surely, if it makes sense to me, it makes sense to people that own a business. I don't know, but Scope's going.
Fellow Brummies, the Priory Square is now closed indefinitely, according to the newspaper. I mean, this has been around for absolutely decades. There used to be a shop in there, like a market shop called Oasis. They used to buy my Levi jeans from. I think it was like that back in the day. It was like 2 jeans for £70. That used to be a bargain. And them jeans would last forever. The most durable jeans I ever had, 501s. Mum, when I was a kid, just dragged me through that store. And that's where she used to get my clothes, like my jeans and all that from, you know, the little stores that the Asian guys were in. And back many moons ago, the building that's next to that Priory Square used to be an Argos. I think prior to that, it was a Tesco's way back when, way before my time. Now it's a B&M. But the whole area is pretty dangerous now. It's just full of kids hanging around, carrying knives, disturbing the public. Yeah, it's not a nice part of town, to be honest. And the surrounding area has all been done up now. So like they got modern new buildings, and then you got this eyesore of an area. So no doubt it'll be torn down, and then they'll build something new there. About time, to be honest. But happy memories, man. Happy memories. It's really weird seeing Birmingham change so dramatically. Some parts I didn't even recognise anymore. But it's all for the greater good. All for the greater good. Out with the old and in with the new, I guess.
After 140 years of wonder, Glasgow's iconic magic shop has closed its doors. Honestly, it feels like the end of an era.
George's Portobello Fish Bar has finally closed its door after 63 years of fish and chip service. So let's get some. So we're in the queue for George's to get the last fish and chips we're going to get from George's. It's like a legend in Notting Hill for fish and chips. So we're just in the queue, look. And this lovely lady has just lent us her umbrella so we can queue in. Yeah, look, we're going to get fish and chips, aren't we, darling? Okay, we're getting closer. Everybody in Notting Hill and West London knows about George's Portobello Fish Bar. For 63 years, they have been pumping up fish and chips, ribs, pies, chicken to famous locals and the local community. And we are so gutted to see the end of an era. George unfortunately passed away recently and they have been selling the building for quite a while. But finally, the time has come to say goodbye to the ribs, and it's one of the only food establishments that was affordable, and they still only ever took cash. You couldn't use your card in there, yet people were queuing hours, and I finally secured the bag. And look at this gorgeous food. I'm so gonna miss it. Altogether this costs £30 with the drinks, the ribs, the sides. Thank you so much, George's Fish Bar, George's Fish and Chips down Portobello Road, for all the beautiful food you provided for us for all the decades of years. I'm off to have my lunch, and yeah, you guys put to the recommendations in the comments of other fish and chip shops around London that you think is worthy of the legend status, just like George's. All the best, guys. All the best to the George's team.
I'm down here at what was the famous Chaffee's Bakery in Chapel Hill. I'm heartbroken to hear that the bakery is closed owing to the rising cost of running a small business. Thank you to Rob and Susanna for everything that you've done over the last 6 years to provide this wonderful asset to our community. Under this Greens Labor government, we've seen a record number of businesses closing, and the cost of electricity for small businesses has gone up by up to 52%. A coalition government will be unashamedly pro-small business and will implement reforms to help the small business sector grow, including returning to the simple definition of a casual worker, cutting red and green tape, and reducing the tax burden on business expenditure.
If local shops keep closing, what will our towns look like in a few years? What happens to our communities when the shops we love vanish for good? If you found this video important, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.